Well, hello there. If you're looking for some of that good old-fashioned Southern tomfoolery, you, my friend, are in the right place. I'm Josh, and welcome to the 63rd episode of us making our way through the Starfinder universe. If you haven't yet, you should definitely come check out our Discord server. We have what I'd consider some of the best shenanigans this side of the Mississippi going on there pretty much all the time. All of us on the show do our best to be as active as possible in the community, and I know I've made lasting friendships with a good number of you. So come join us. Come share your thoughts on the show. Make some new friends. Discuss your own role-playing experiences. Share a drink or some memes. Talk about your favorite music, books, movies, or games. We have a channel for damn near everything, and they're all active. Every single person in our community is amazing, and you're so awesome that I'd love for you to be a part of it. We're one big ridiculous family, and I promise you'll fit right in. For those of you who are already part of the STF family, I love you, and thank you for being a part of our lives. Also, I can't believe that 1 year of tomfoolery is already behind us. A year! So, here's to a very happy, if a bit belated, birthday toast to the rest of the crew, and to all of you for making this journey with us. Here's to another amazing year of this adventure. I can't wait to see what our second year has in store, and I'm looking forward to getting to meet you, if I haven't had the chance just yet. Now, I hope you're ready for today's episode. Memories can't fade, because here we go.
As you all know, we are kind of recording double time during this COVID-19 outbreak, pandemic, as they're calling it these days. It is a pandemic, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
But I think it's starting to get to me, for sure. Certainly, I think got to us. Some of us, last combat. That was probably the messiest combat we've ever done since like episode 3, I think. But it was a lot of fun. You guys ended up on top of that one. You did well. But before we get into the game, what are y'all doing to stay sane? Because obviously what I'm doing isn't working for me.
So I compiled a list for you guys of everything I've watched on Netflix since we've been in quarantine.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So right out the gate, I've got season 1 of Bloodline, which is 13 episodes, which is dope. That's an underrated show that nobody talks about anymore.
You've watched that before, haven't you?
Yeah, like when it first came out like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It was one of the earlier like Netflix originals. But it's really good. Check it out. I watched Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy last night, which I know John thought was a snooze fest. I really enjoyed it.
I heard that was good. Haven't seen it, though.
It's a good Radiohead song.
That is true. I've watched a bunch of stand-up. I watched my favorite one so far has been Ronnie Chiang? The guy that was on fucking The Daily Show.
Okay. Yep. Nailed it.
His stand-up, Chinese Man Destroys America. Which is amazing. It's fucking hilarious. Tiger King. I mean, like, we've all watched Tiger King, right?
Oof. Yeah. I'm not done with it.
Like you should. But
I mean, that's what everybody. It's number one in America right now. It's the number one thing
for a reason.
So I watched it I watched 6 episodes in one night, and then woke up and watched the finale.
I have like the last 3/4 of the finale to watch. That's like it.
Wow.
I'll probably have it done when we finish the session. Honestly,
yeah,
that's what I'll watch.
I watched Pete Davidson's Alive in New York stand-up. was pretty good. If you, I watched Tom Segura's newest stand-up, Ball Hog, last night. I watched a bunch of shit last night, but I watched The Naked Gun, some classic Leslie Nielsen.
There you go.
Fucking physical comedies.
And we
Never seen
shaking
it.
her head, mouthing, never seen it.
I should have watched that.
I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, it's just jaded.
We moved on.
I watched Mark Maron's most recent stand-up as well,
Lots
which
of
is really
stand-up.
good.
Yeah, a whole lot of stand-up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta laugh
well-
in a time like this.
Well, but I
though.
also watched like 2 whole seasons of TV shows, you know. And then finally today, before we recorded, I finally watched Dolomite Is My Name, and that shit was awesome.
Finally. That
Yeah.
shit's great.
Yeah, I
loved
definitely want to watch that for sure. You know what is on my queue to watch tomorrow afternoon?
What's that?
2001.
Baby, stay out.
2000.
Finally, what?
Is it really?
Nice.
Yep.
It took the
Yep.
end of the
Proud of
world
you.
just for you to fucking
did.
watch it.
Well, I feel like it's
It
now
still might not
contextually.
happen.
It's still contextually appropriate now that to
Yeah.
watch it. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I'll appreciate it even
Motherfucker,
more
it was
than
always
ever.
contextually appropriate. We're playing a sci-fi
All right,
game.
I'm not.
Get out of
I'm
here.
not watching it anymore. That's
Well,
okay.
no,
See,
man.
that's what's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, I hope
ruined it.
that you'll be able
You
to
blew it.
scratch it off your bucket list, man. You know, before.
Well, I was until Heath was a dick, and so now out of misplaced pride, I'm not going to watch it.
That
No,
seems
my-
grown up.
I've mostly just been
Definitely not. I didn't just turn 39 this week.
No, I've mostly just been playing video games, alternating back and forth in about equal time, probably a little bit more on one than the other, but between Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal. They're
Yeah, I mean, you know,
perfect antidote for each other, you know, just
yeah.
make my little village, talk to nice little animal people, collect a bunch of random stuff, plant trees, you know, do all that stuff, and then
I wanna
murder
play
demons.
that.
Cut them in half with
It's-
chainsaws, blow them up.
It's the most bipolar thing
No
I've ever
shit.
seen in gaming.
No
for those two
kidding.
games to be released at the same time, and
So
see so many
many
people
people
are
are
opposites.
playing both.
I think I
Yeah,
saw like
so
a
many people
matchup
are
between the
playing
two.
both.
Yeah, well, I mean, they honestly complement each other well. You know, it's
Yeah.
because Doom is really intense. I'm playing on one of the higher difficulties, so it's like
Well, yeah.
hardcore
I mean, it's like-
focus.
It's like
Humble
eating
brag.
a whole jalapeno. It's like eating a whole jalapeno or a ghost pepper and then eating some ice cream. Like, I get it.
Yeah,
we are 2 weeks away from Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out at time of recording.
so when this comes out, it
excited
should
about
be coming out soon or already.
Yeah, it's probably already
it'll
out.
probably be-
They're
it'll
probably
probably
already
already
playing
out.
it. Hey, people in the future, how are you liking Final Fantasy VII Remake? Hit us up in the
Let us know.
Discord. I'm really enjoying it.
I hope, well, no, I don't. Never mind.
How about that cloud?
When does Cyberpunk come out?
It's set in
Oh,
September.
Like forever away. It's never
Oh,
gonna
they
come.
pushed it back? Fuck.
Yeah,
We could have been playing that during this.
We
this-
could have.
Well-
Cyberpunk would have been the best, at home game to
dude.
play for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
oh man,
sure.
Animal Crossing. Who needs Cyberpunk?
Well,
I'm
I'm
gonna let
looking
that one
forward
slide.
to.
I just don't even want to
Yeah,
get
yeah. I'm trying really hard to just pretend like none
No,
of
I
that
mean,
happens.
look, I was sitting there
You've
last
had your
night.
time, Heath. So,
come on.
no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Sitting there last night.
I was like,
and
I was
Zach
like, I'm not
walks-
prepared.
Zach walks through the living room, and I'm just, zoned out playing Animal Crossing, and I look up and I'm like, Zach, never do this. Never do this to yourself. Never start this game.
I don't think you had to worry about that, like
Great.
in the
Great
slightest.
game.
Well, to be honest though, I have sat on the couch and watched Josh play more Animal Crossing than I'm going to admit on air right now.
Well, that was more like a time of necessity type thing. Like, what else were you going to do? That's what he was playing. You're at his house,
yeah, I mean,
He could have gone and played Monster Hunter instead.
yeah.
See,
He's
that's
on that
just
I
That's
it.
literally,
Playing
I was like, all right, I'm fixing to go hunt some monsters. And then I sat there for probably 45 minutes, an hour.
Instead, you cross some animals.
yeah.
See,
It
you
is
could
what
have
it is,
actually
man.
been helping me with fucking Monster Hunter. That's what all I've been fucking doing is just Monster Hunter. And I won't see you guys whenever fucking Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy is currently being played right now.
Oh my god, are we really trying?
The time
My
continuum.
brain hurts. Like I ask you things to help me stay sane and get my brain focused, and
Adam,
your feet.
You know who we are, right?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I tried to do like some outside stuff like yesterday.
Yes.
Like I
Brave.
was gonna do some like gardeny stuff, but then like I fell and I scraped my knee, so I gave up.
You're a brave and majestic butterfly.
Proud
that
of
was
you.
that was like worse than Josh level story there, dude. Like that, I don't. Josh,
That's all I've got.
You really
You never
Josh
get
to
that.
that one, Emily.
no, you never get that bad.
You're welcome.
What? Sure.
Josh?
Heath, I'm looking forward to starting a Divinity 2 game with you tomorrow.
Yep. Same.
Yeah,
Sorry. I've got a lot of pepper in my throat from this Michelin tire.
The Ralph Macchio.
I'm so done with
You
all
want to
of
you want to just like call it quits right here, Adam? We'll just
Yeah,
call
like
it
there
good
is
for the
no
night.
way my brain is aligned after the conversation we just had. After the opening banter that we just had, I was hoping for some sort of like leveling, and all I got was bipolar video gaming, somehow randomly falling just because you went outside, and pepper in your Michelin tire. Is that about sum it up?
Yeah,
I gave you an
All right.
entire list of
Got
Netflix
it.
recommendations.
Yeah, it started off great.
that was so long ago. Who can even remember?
But yeah, that was
Weeks
in the
ago.
future past ago. You know,
Yeah.
Man, Final Fantasy is so good.
really good.
By the time this airs, I'll have watched Beastars. So
Oh, that's actually been
Yeah.
pretty good.
Okay, no,
I've been
stop.
enjoying
Nope.
That's
All right,
super on brand for Emily.
That's
Yeah.
where I'm putting. That's where I'm drawing the
Adam,
line. We're
what's
we're
happening
playing.
on
The,
the-
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's happening. Y'all just broke time and space in the game that we're playing. All sorts of things went wrong, but you ended up defeating the scientists, including Oliviana, the head scientist, who you know holds the data pad that you are after, that has some information, and she also has her hand, which I think you're after as well, because you guys are fucking psychos. But
yeah, we're
whatever.
gonna cut it off.
All right, so Zeno, you're up on the catwalk there, and Sedona's still over there across from you on the catwalk, just kind of like struggling.
Seizing out.
Yeah. What do y'all do here?
Call the manufacturer. No, go ahead.
Orin will turn off Starlight Form for sure. Conserve my minutes. You know what I mean? I don't have rollover, so.
Right. I mean, you gotta.
Yeah, I mean, after
don't
the
have
deed is
that
done, he's
unlimited
just going to
data
calm
plan.
down, and that fury will sort of just slowly fade, and he'll just let his moat float back up behind him.
All right. Zeno.
Zeno is going to rush over to where Sedona is and just kneel down and just kind of prop her head on one of his knees, just trying to
Yeah, and after about 20,
diagnostics,
30 Yeah, about 20, 30 seconds, she comes back to you as she has before. You recognize this. This is her regaining a memory. She awakens to you, kind of cradling her. She says, Zeno, I've just had another memory returned to me. I've been here before, too. Zolan had me shackled to the catwalk over there next to the rune drive. Well, he shouted questions at me incessantly. His fury and his moves to wipe the spittle from his mouth and his brow as he shouted at me. It was so much. And she gingerly touches her shoulder and continues to say that the Sawdat dislocated my arm when I couldn't provide the information that he wanted. And in response to this, Sedona seems to purse her lips in determination even further against Zolan, as she's remembered all the trouble that and grief that he caused her while she was under his control. You see the look of, the young Sedona that you remember, Zeno, when she was like at the peak of her captaincy of the Epoch Tracer and had this like determination to defeat and justice. You see that same resolve set upon her face. She's like, I will end the Sardat.
Well, we're close. All we need to do is just take a few more steps. And soon, this story will come to an end.
Yes, and she pulls herself up. She's, let's join the others. I'm about tired of being unable to help during these fights. Is anybody hurt? And she'll kind of like, start walking down towards.
I'm going to help her,
the rest of
shoulder her a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she doesn't seem to have taken any injury. It's just like she was kind of overwhelmed with her memory flooding back. And she, is going to kind of walk down the catwalk over to Oren and walk down the stairs.
You all right, Sedona?
Yes, another memory has returned, Oren.
He just lets that one hang.
Yeah.
I don't think. I was just thinking about it, but I don't think Mike would have even noticed that she went down. Like,
No.
he wouldn't have
No,
any
probably
idea
not.
that
No.
happened.
Same with Phil.
So I think
Siva.
while that was all going on, he probably would have busied himself with like rifling through Oliviana's pockets trying to find. We need a data pad, right?
Definitely.
No, we have the data pad. We need her. We need her blood.
Yeah.
Well, you need both, which she
Yeah,
has.
we needed another data pad because we already had her journal, not the data pad we needed.
I'm sorry. You're correct. You are correct.
Here's what she has on her. She has elite station wear, a carbon staff, a frostbite class 0 pistol with 2 batteries, a Mark II serum of healing, a purple sphere Aeon stone. Ooh. The control harness data pad, and an Aurelos keycard.
I want that Aeon stone.
I think everybody wants that Aeon stone.
I mean, what's the Aeon Stone do?
Yeah, what
what's
does it do? And then
Aeon
we can
do?
So-
narrow it down.
That is a purple sphere. Let me see. We'll look it up. Yeah, purple sphere will give you.
An invisible force field around you that functions as a purple force field. Daily capacity of 10 charges and fully recharges itself every 24 hours. It's a level 7 item.
Yeah, purple force field gives you a temporary HP of 5 and fast healing 2.
Damn.
So you
good.
regain
So-
two of your shield every turn.
So before we get into a roll off situation here, I will say I already have a brown one, which is just 1, but it's 1 HP and it re-heals itself every turn. So
So, with the Aeon stones, do they have to does the equipment have to be able to be socketed with an Aeon stone, or is it?
It just
Compatible
floats around
with
your
everything.
head. It floats around your head.
Yeah, so you
my,
don't.
mine is socketed into my armor though.
Yeah, now some will socket in, but if you don't, you can have it just floating around your head. Yes, that's correct.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I want it.
I'm not gonna lie, I want it.
I mean, I want it too. I have
I
one
think
but it's bright yellow. It's for like culture, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean,
got a
it's
level
purple.
1.
That's kind of my thing. you know?
Purple's my thing as well, my dude.
purple's not my thing, but having a bunch of HP sure is. I mean, if we're gonna all roll off, I will say, if I win it, I will give somebody else my brownstone.
All right, well, let's roll it. Flat 20. Well, flat
Gross.
20s across the board.
Flat 20s.
All right.
Let's roll them on roll 20. What you think?
No,
I think that's a
Yeah.
terrible idea.
it's a terrible
but-
idea because I just got a 2. You guys have fun.
All right.
I got a 19.
I got a 2 as well. Dude.
Let me see. Actually, roll on.
I got a 1.
Oh my god.
Hold on. Let me see what I got. Hold on.
Glad I got that out of the way.
Let's see here. I got a 1.
No way.
Jeez
Wow.
Louise. All right, so Mike, who do you give the brown one to? What level is the brown one?
The brown
another
is like the
roll-off.
base level. It's the like early level one. It's 1 temporary HP and fast healing 1.
Yeah, but it matters what level item it is because Josh may be able to sock it, or Fel may be able to sock it
in my pistol.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a stone
Well,
and not a
indeed.
force field.
Yeah. Oh, it's a force field. Yeah, never mind. It's not a stone. So it's just the force field. Yeah. It's just the force field. So who are you going to give the force field to?
Well, I mean,
Here's the
All right,
thing
roll
is
off.
like
Roll off. There you go. All right.
here's the thing is that you actually have to do an engineering check to take it out of your armor upgrade slot.
But I can take care of that.
yeah. I mean, I could
Right.
aid him.
I can aid him.
Who
Doing
wants
this right
a little
now.
bit of temporary HP?
A little bit of buffer.
Who gets hit?
A lot.
I think
I mean-
Ziva.
I think Zeta could use
I
it.
would like it if we're just.
Do you have a slot in your armor to put it
I
in?
have Kasatha Microcord. Let me see here. 2. I have upgrade slot 1. Yes.
All right.
Well, there you go.
All right, there you go.
All right. Done and done. Y'all handle that.
Woo!
Because while you guys are kind of all doing that, and you get the gear and you get the data pad, Zeno, you're looking at this head scientist lady, this lady who tried to inject nanobots into you, and the rune drive is literally next to you right now in this big containment chamber, and you are just flooded with memories and times from the past. I need some doodly doos, guys.
He's gonna go up there and touch it.
We find ourselves at an independent biomedical research facility called Bodhi Labs. As automated doors slide open, we hear the sound of Xenophanes V's hard-soled shoes on the sterilized floors of the lab. The android enters and detects the lingering odor of cleaning agents. The lab itself is, of course, pristine. Every tool and article has a position and resides in its place. A new addition, ceramic tables complemented by leather seating, are fixed at various areas within the lab. Obviously replacement furniture after the recent containment breach involving overtuned magnetic applications. Along the way, rows of isolated modules can be seen submerged into the walls, each devoted entirely to a different response test. Researchers attend to some of these modules staring through the transparent polycarbon plate, running hundreds of trials and recording their results in their company-issued datapads. Zeno arrives at the station he's frequented lately, eager to see the results from last night's experiment. He's had a fair bit of autonomy since arriving at Bodhi Labs, something he's been grateful for. Ever since his encounter with the Drift Being, Zeno sought out every opportunity to perform research to provide answers to that fateful experience. At first he felt the answers would no longer elude him here, where he could conduct research into the nature of how nanobots interface with biological components. Zeno sighs mutely to himself as he records the latest failure, an application of adaptive learning nanobots that provide biosensory feedback to synthetic flesh. The experiment was unsightly, an aberration of overcharged nanobots festering through the pores of synthetic flesh. At the press of a button, the mess is vaporized instantly. He thinks,
I thought I'd be further. Perhaps unravel one string that would unravel more and unfasten this damned Gordian knot.
as if vocalizing his frustrations, he hears the good doctor from the office adjacent to his. Fuck! What was that ancient adage? Misery loves company? Even at his approach, he could hear the Newton's cradle incessant clacking. Zeno thinks to himself again.
Humans and their annoying tendencies, clicking pens, drumming fingers, and even baubles that make noise. If I have anything on my desk, it will be silent.
Xeno 5 gently knocks on the doctor's already open door and quietly inquires.
Everything all right in here?
Inside, rows of books, some of which Dr. Gregant penned herself. Xeno recalls her saying she's read every single one she hasn't written at least twice. This is not the first time Xeno has seen her poring over her hollow screen in disappointment. Perhaps even a grimace over her face. He wasn't ever really adept at that skill. Oh, heard me again, Xenophanes. I apologize. Just going over the last minutes of some meeting.
Must have been some meeting. More pressure from Eclipse?
Without asking, Xeno 5 takes a seat across from her desk, all his vision in focus. The decorational scrolls detailing the Four Noble Truths, a philosophy dating back to Galarian, strung on each wall, and the reverse print of the minutes from which appears to be the finance staff meeting upon her holoscreen. As if feeling his gaze pierce through to her very core, she enables the privacy filter on her holoscreen. How goes your research, Xeno? Making any headway? Tell me you found some lucrative application.
Vaporized just a few minutes ago.
The doctor slumps a little in her seat, feeling slightly defeated. Well, that won't win any awards. Not that I've won any lately either. Just remember, focus on the signal, not the noise. An oft-repeated phrase she liked to use. Xeno and the good doctor's conversations have always been a little placid, a little light on the intake, keeping details close to the chest. However, during his time here, he's come to admire Dr. Gregant. He's heard of her work in nanotechnology. She was thorough for a human, a brilliant mind and dedicated to her work, calculated and driven. Well, I'm off to lunch soon. Care to check out that new Kasatha cafe nearby?
It's still too early for me. Perhaps another time. I'd like to try a different approach.
As Xeno leaves the office, he thinks to himself.
Perhaps a quartz-based application tuned to the variance in frequencies between the vast and the drift.
Meanwhile, Dr. Gregant, still at her desk, scrolls down to the next correspondence. A new message from Eclipse Innovations. We move forward in time, a few months, and find Xeno 5 uncomfortably looking on as Dr. Gregant injects one of the military test subjects with her newest compound of nanobots. The test subject is a soldier and is strapped on a medical table flanked by two higher-level officers who have been acting as security in the last months. As the injection works its way into the soldier's veins, his face contorts into a grimace and then lets loose a blood-curdling scream. Blood begins to seep out of his nose and ears as the nanobots do their work, agitating and tearing every pain receptor from the inside out. Dr. Gregant furiously takes notes and then nods to another scientist who proceeds to administer another injection, this time filled with a serum of some sort. As the infusion works through the soldier's body, the doctor watches with hopeful expectation. The soldier continues to scream as all of his body is consumed with pain before finally, involuntarily clamping his teeth down upon his tongue, leaving his mouth a bloody mess. Xeno turns his head against the gore, feeling that nagging sense of being unsettled, and shakes his head. The doctor's head falls, defeated. She throws her clipboard to the ground with a violent clatter and yells at everyone to leave the testing room and return to their offices or cubicles. Xeno looks over his shoulder at the doctor and sees her looking desperately at the two security personnel, quietly pleading with them for something that Xeno couldn't make out. Two more soldiers start to push him out as he lingers, and then the door to the lab is shut with the new soundproof doors that were installed by Eclipse Innovations a couple months ago. Xeno walks back to his desk and looks begrudgingly at the security camera that looms over his workstation. Another new security measure. As the android returns to his work, he laments the freedom he once had here to study his own theories and research. All projects and resources are now strictly managed by Eclipse Innovations and require corporate approval. At first, this had just proved to be an extra measure of red tape, but his work had still been approved with a little help from Dr. Gigant's endorsement. However, since Eclipse Innovations had made a deal with a new client from the military sector, all resources had been redirected towards this new project of managing pain. Details of what results they were supposed to be achieving have been frustratingly kept quiet, with assignments being given out on need-to-know bases, leaving most of the scientists in the dark about this increasingly unsettling project. Through all of this, Dr. Gigant has become increasingly distant from her staff, and Zeno has noticed her looking more and more stressed and fatigued. Zeno resigns himself to his desk and begins to work on the data entry of the last few failed experiments. One such experiment had even been conducted on himself. Dr. Gigant had pulled him aside a week or two before she began retreating to her office more and more. He had agreed to let her inject him with a different strain of nanobots to see the effect they may have on android biotechnology. Zeno was relieved when the nanobots did not cause him any pain, but was a little stressed when the doctor said she wouldn't be able to remove them. He scratches his neck nervously and looks at his cactus for the reaffirmation that he acquired it for. A cactus can go a long time without fresh nourishment, while still growing tall, just as he would continue to grow, even if the resources and ability to achieve his own goals had dried up. A few hours later, the laboratory's intercom system crackles, and Zeno hears Dr. Gigant's strained voice. "All personnel, please report back to the main testing lab. Staff meeting in 15 minutes. Xeno 5 is in the main lab with the rest of his peers and co-workers, who all look equally curious and nervous about what this meeting's purpose will be. Finally, Dr. Gigant emerges from her office, eyes puffy, flanked by two of the senior security officers. She walks up to her crew and addresses them. "Team, scientists, friends, I want to begin by thanking each of you for all of your hard work. It has been a great pleasure watching your minds grow and discover. I will never forget what we have achieved here. As you know, the last few months have been challenging. And I know many of you are not even sure what it is that we have been trying to do. For that, I can only apologize. Yet I still am unable to fully disclose our project and intent here. I just want you to know that your efforts have not gone unnoticed or unappreciated. It is for that reason that this next bit is so difficult to say. Due to our... No, she corrects herself. My inability to yield the desired results by our new client. With this, her eyes dart resentfully to the soldiers standing on either side of her. But then she continues. Eclipse Innovations has made the decision to close this lab. Effective immediately. The Bodhi Biomedical Labs will be sold to Abadar Corps and most likely converted into a non-research-based medical facility. I will provide you all with Abadar Corps' recruiting packages, as they have expressed interest in retaining as many of you that want to stay. These packages will be in your email by the end of the day. She pauses for a moment, then takes a deep breath. I myself will not be taking Abadar Corps' offer, as my commitment to my contract with Eclipse Innovations has not yet been fulfilled. So it is with a heavy heart that I must say goodbye to all of you as I continue my journey without you. Some of the scientists begin to mutter and protest or offer to join Dr. Gigant, but she only puts up her hand, silencing the crowd. None of you will be coming with me. This is a decision that I have made, not Eclipse Innovations or their military client. You will not understand, but you must accept it. Thank you all for everything you've done, but please, clear out your stations today. Security will be doing a sweep of the building at closing time, and will then lock the facility down until handing it over to Abadar Corps. And with that, she turns her back on the research team and walks into her office, closing the door. And that was the last time that Xeno 5 ever saw the good doctor. Yeah.
Well,
Fuck, man.
So yeah, Xeno is having this memory as he looks down at another driven scientist. Again, kind of attached so closely to something that he is so intricately involved with. And we come back to the present. What do you guys do now?
Xeno's going to actually approach that, this massive structure off to his right and just kind of like stroke his hand against the panel and just think to himself, finally, after all this time, our relentless pursuit bears fruit. And he looks back at the group. This would have been impossible without you.
So you touch it?
Yes.
Oh, I don't like that.
well,
I do.
to be fair, there's the containment
Yeah, it's
thing
containment
around
thing.
it,
That's
right?
Right, you're right,
yeah.
right. He touches the
That's a containment field, yeah.
Okay. I mean,
you are surged with energy and magic, and you gain 1 spell slot back.
hell yeah. That's what's up.
All right.
I think in fiction, like Mike was the one that pat down or Oliviana's body and got all the stuff off of her, and he'd kind of, after assessing all of the equipment and items, kind of turn his eyes up to her and be like, "So, like, you want a hand?"
Yes.
Oh, you mean
What?
you mean a literal hand?
Yeah. Do you want her hand?
And Ziva's, you pulled out the data pad, right?
Yeah, I've got the data pad.
Yeah. So, let's regroup. Let's get the information that we know we need before we start poking around with. And she's kind of like gesturing with 2 fingers at the rune drive. Like Ziva's not comfortable with this thing at all.
Xeno's just really distracted.
I've got to
at
say,
this.
I kind of feel you on that.
Yeah.
So before you all start digging in too much, I do have some art that I want to show you.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that is
Nice.
cool as hell. Dude, that looks way cooler than like the map makes it look.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that would definitely be eye-catching because you're
It
just
looks-
like
It looks like a shark.
Shit.
It does.
Kinda, yeah.
It does. It's straight up.
It's like a
like a-
shark with a jet
Oh,
engine
Which-
inside
A
of it.
makes it
metallic
even
filigree
more-
shark.
Which is like even more ominous. It's like this
It's
thing is a
mecha shark.
predator.
It's a
Yeah.
mecha shark.
Yeah. Seeing
how are we
that.
even gonna get this thing out of here?
One step at a time. Like
How about
Ziva's
we look
honestly
at this
like
data
overwhelmed
pad?
by this.
Okay. So, yeah, what is your plan here? You have the rune drive is in the containment chamber right next to you. This has been the thing that you've been chasing for 3 books
Yes.
now.
Yes.
You also have the data pad that came off of Oliviana. There's a lot to process here. What are you guys gonna do?
I want to hand off the data pad to Fel. And
Yes.
be like, hey, you piece this information together, find out what we need to know, what information links up so we can get this thing out of here if possible, and also find my fucking dad, right? Alright? If somebody wants to hand me a blade, I'll cut this fucker's hand off.
I mean,
Ziva
And I'll
opens
wrap
her
it up and
sheath.
give it to you.
is that even necessary? If we got the data pad, we got the body. And Fel just puts
Ziva's
her
already
hand
cutting the
on.
hand.
Oh my god!
It's her journal too, right? To to be clear, it is her. Not there's a data pad that's not her journal.
We have both.
Right. There's two separate data pads, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we just need her hand to access the data pad? Or to access
The journal.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so we don't need to cut anything off. Does it need like a touch sensor thing, or do we need blood on it, or does it require the fucking removal of a hand?
Well, why don't you just try to push? Why don't you just try to push her journal up against her
What
hand?
I was trying to
See
do.
first.
All right, so we put the hand on the journal.
Yeah.
The still attached hand, mind you.
Yes,
Sort of.
Thus
Mostly
far.
attached.
Mostly.
We have to like really specify this because of our history and all.
All right, crowd control.
Because of who we are.
This is character development that we go for this method first.
Yeah, you guys have gotten better.
So, okay, here's the
Oh
scene.
my god. Zeno has an
Ziva was
aneurysm.
pulling out a knife, and Vel says,
Whoa,
I don't
wait.
think we need to cut it off.
Yeah. And just slides it under her hand as Ziva is starting to cut. What happens with the journal?
Yes. The journal lights up and it bypasses the password screen with her hand.
Okay.
Opens
perhaps we were a bit hasty.
GG.
Now Fel looks at Ziva and says, I mean, you might want to continue anyways, though. You never know what type of locks we're going to come up against on doors over here.
Oh, really?
She also has an Aurelos keycard on her.
And that
Take
too.
the key card.
Yeah, I mean,
on,
I feel
guys.
like I took everything off of her.
Yeah. All right. So the diary opens, and it looks like a typical scientist log. What's most noticeable about it is the recent entry, and it shows her. It's like a video log as well, and it shows her nervously complaining, and not for the first time. Like throughout, like the last few month or so, she's been increasingly more frustrated with Zolan because she's complaining that he's sabotaging the efforts to unlock the rune drive secrets by isolating the facility's divisions from one another, while granting only himself the ability to examine each division's result as a whole. She goes on to discuss the recent arrival of an Aeon Guard specialist, a grizzled operative named Evandrian, and expresses concern that Zolan is keeping the true nature of the research here secret from this specialist, which, if true, could spell exile or worse for the Sardat and have unknown consequences for all the scientists here.
Listen, I'm just as fascinated by this rune drive as anyone else. But we don't have a chance of getting this thing out of here until we take out Evandrian.
I mean, unless we can link up the teams and, I don't know, warp this whole rock somewhere? I know, it's crazy, but who knows? We don't know what this thing's capable of.
That's a valid
point. Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I had not thought about that.
As
at
strange
all.
as that sounds, Vel does provide a salient point.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna just kill the bastard anyway.
Ziva gives you the hardest side eye. Ziva's not about that thought at all. That freaks her right the fuck out.
And drift travel doesn't?
She's familiar with drift travel.
fair.
She knows what it is. It's better the evil you know.
Yeah.
Devil, than the devil
Yeah.
you don't. Yeah.
She says,
I don't even think it's fair to say she knows what it is. She's just
no,
done.
she doesn't. Yeah. She's just like, it's an accepted form of travel at this point. She's like, well, before we start warping through realities with an unknown technology, let's hold on. Let's try and get everything together. Okay, we know this Evandrin or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's his name.
You nailed it. Yep.
Got it in one. He can't. Even if we were to warp out of here, we can't take him with us. Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna take him out regardless, right?
I think that we should.
Exactly.
That's the first priority.
Yes.
Or
Second priority is find Mikhail's father.
what we could do, I don't know if he'd believe us, but key him in to what's actually going on here, what Zolan's doing here, that none of this is sanctioned.
You want to try to convert him to our side?
Not necessarily, but if
Not necessarily.
if he sees that Zolan's going, flying off on his own, going against what the Empire wants, then enemy of my enemy is my friend. Not saying that I'm friends with an Aslanti, but
No, well, I mean, to that point, and I'm not a very smart man, but I have gotten a feeling from what we've discovered so far that it may be the case that he's here as much to investigate Zolan as to help him out, right?
Right. So why not help him along with that?
I don't know how to go about doing that without finding him, and if we do find him, he's going to try to fuck us right over like last time.
And
Well, maybe we try and fuck him over first.
Fel looks at Ziva and says, talk to him. Tell him that, throw him the journal. Have him read it.
Seems easier to kill him. I'm just saying.
Well, why not both? He set trap for us. Why can't we set a trap for him?
I don't like it.
You got any traps on you?
I've got a genius mechanic and an ever impressive android friend. Certainly we could come up with something, yes?
Like what?
We have a fucking rune drive.
Well, that we can't even
Right
use.
next to you.
We don't know that.
Haven't even looked at it, yeah.
So, okay, alright, well, we've got the information that we know that we can get from this Oliviana. We know the situation with this specialist. Now, let's look at what we've got with this. And she just kind of gestures with both hands. Thing. Zeno?
Yeah. I'm going to take a couple steps away from it, though.
Yeah.
I suggest
Orin will take a step up to it. I think, maybe Orin, Fel, and Xeno would all be interested in it.
Yeah. Fel's interested in
Yes.
this computer console that he's standing near.
All right,
Yeah.
so what are we going to look at first? You have the datapad, a computer console, and the rune drive within the casing.
Well, can we do this? Can he unlock access to the datapad, let us be reading that while they look at the rune drive?
So which one do you want to do first? Because I can't talk
Datapad.
three ways at the same
Datapad.
time.
I think go small to biggest.
Yeah.
All right, so the datapad, is that what you guys want to look at first?
Sure. Correct.
Yes, everybody. All right, computer check.
Okay.
Aid.
This is her datapad, right?
Yes.
Slap her hand on it.
Still have to try to hack it.
Okay. Oh, it's gonna be...
Did you aid, John?
Yes, I did.
So that's gonna be a 23 plus his aid, so 25.
Okay. You got a +4 circumstance bonus. Excuse me. For having Oliviana's hand. That is enough for you to hack the datapad, which you realize
Yes.
is actually what controls the computer console.
Okay.
So those are one and of the same. What you get from here is a pretty important piece of information, that there is a special Aeon stone embedded in the rune drive itself, and that it has been activated, which means that anyone sitting on the Aeon throne, the physical seat of power of the Atlantic Star Empire, is now able to track this device wherever it goes in the galaxy and beyond.
No shit.
So Sedona, as you know, you kind of relay this information. She says, well, simply stealing this isn't going to work. That will probably bring the full force of the Star Empire not down on us, but the Pact Worlds entirely. We can't allow that to happen. Perhaps Mulgabur could give us more insight.
On that...
But
Go ahead.
Is it like the whole thing that they need this thing to be able to travel in big groups? I mean, if we did steal it, they still couldn't travel in big groups to the Pact Worlds, right?
Sure, but you're basically creating a drift beacon directly to it, wherever it is.
Alright, so then we destroy it. What other choice do we have?
Absolutely
Well-
not.
I mean,
Let's check with Murgelberg and maybe Michael's father.
It's
They will-
Murgelberg.
let's check with them. Link up all the scientists. They hadn't been able to share information. Let them share their information. Let them figure out how this thing actually works. See if we can remove that tracking.
Absolutely.
I agree. And like Mike agrees solely out of just trying to get to his dad. He doesn't know shit about any of
definitely.
this
Yeah.
tech stuff.
Well, seeing this up close, Ziva's terrified of what would happen if we did destroy it. Like, I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns here,
Yeah.
right? And there are 3 separate labs all studying different aspects of
Yeah.
it that you have to collect the information from to download onto this particular data pad to kind of get the bigger picture. And Murgelberg has also offered her expertise to assess that and analyze that information. However, the 3 of you that are kind of like standing, like you're there at the rune drive and you're looking at it through the little glass panes that are in the containment chamber. You can see it, and you see that it's just a cube. It's just a cube, 3 foot cube, glowing a soft green, just like kind of sitting in the middle of this containment device. It has several ports on one face, all of which are connected to the control harness via thick cables. It has no display panel or any other obvious means of activating it. Roll engineering or mysticism.
I'll roll the mysticism.
All right, I'm gonna roll engineering, and I'm gonna use one of my inspirations on it.
Is that an aidable thing?
Yeah, is it?
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I'm finna crush this thing here.
I'm talking about the
31.
engineering.
31 mysticism.
Okay, what about the engineering?
I aid.
All right, I am using an inspiration on it because I don't want to fail this.
So that'll be a +5 total.
Yep. That's a good roll too. So
I'm gonna go
16
ahead and
plus
aid.
15 would be 31 plus 5 would be 36.
All right, yeah, okay. So you guys both crushed the rolls. So, Fel, as you're examining the actual casing of it, you can determine that it's composed of a strange alloy that's strong and durable as adamantine alloy, but it's not that. It's encrusted with tiny shards of dull gray stone. And you, Orin, with your mysticism check, identify these shards as remnants of ancient Aeon stones that have lost much of their magical power, and they're often referred to as dull gray Aeon stones. So this entire casing has been constructed out of crushed old Aeon stones to encase.
That's
The
so many.
Holy
That's so
shit.
many.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
having an entire bathroom made out of diamonds.
And the process to manufacture this particular alloy is currently unknown to Pact World's material scientists. You have not seen this method done before.
Wow.
But I can just sense that
But
that's
you
what
can.
this is.
But your mysticism allows you to connect
Yeah.
to the magic of it, in your study of Aslanti, the language and its history. You can put it together that this is Aeon material.
If they weren't such assholes, this would be really impressive.
I mean, it's assholes are
Still
not.
quite impressive.
Very impressive.
So yeah, that's about all you can glean currently from this area. What would you like to do now?
Did we check the computer? Like, we know the data pad controls the computer console, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Did I understand that?
Yep. So it's
Did we
the
do
same.
anything with that?
It just gave you the information
Okay.
that it had an Aeon stone in it that
Okay.
acts as a beacon device. You're going to need the other bits of data from the 3 labs to actually interface with the rune drive.
All right. So, to another lab we go then, yeah?
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to stay and study it, we do need to go ahead and find your father.
Well, since we know that it's like trackable anywhere in the universe, I don't think it's going anywhere.
Not anytime soon.
Yes.
So as far as this room, there is a hallway to your west that opens up into like 2 other rooms.
What about that, looking at the map, what about the Scion's vestry? We're right next
That
to
would
it.
be the room to the south, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right.
It's obscured on the map.
Yep. Is that where you're going?
Yeah, let's check it out.
What about this loader over here?
Let's
Hey,
have 73 perception checks.
In all seriousness, the gear that we got off of Oliviana, there was a pretty decent pistol and an extra battery. Does anybody need that pistol? Because I need a battery for sure.
I mean, I'll
I'm
look at
so
the pistol
sorry.
and
What's
see
the
if
pistol?
it's better than what I've been using.
Yeah, let's handle that off air.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, the only reason I bring it up is because it may be relevant if we get into a combat, because I need a battery.
No, take the battery.
Oh, you have the battery for sure.
I've got
Alright.
Take the
I have
fucking
spares.
battery.
Roll a perception check, Oren. You're
Can
going to get a
do.
bonus here because you know that there's supposed to be something here based on the map.
Okay. So that's gonna be a natural 19, man. Plus 15.
Plus another 5, so that's plus 20, so it's 39.
29.
39. No, you're getting 20 total to
Oh,
your 19.
okay.
Yeah, it's 39.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see that the wall right in front of you, to the south of you, is slightly different coloration, and you kind of trace your fingers around it and see that there's been a recently installed secret door here that opens with a touch.
I slapped that space bar.
Amateurs.
That door opens right up.
And when it does, this alabaster panel slides open, revealing 2 broad steps that descend dimly into a dimly lit room. The scent of incense wafts out from the chamber, which contains a tidy prayer mat placed in front of a rectangular alabaster altar. Behind the altar, a holographic tapestry bears the image of a stern Aslanti woman in a flowing gown with one raised hand. A glowing 7-pointed star floats in front of her palm. Ornate candelabras containing glow sticks stand in the 4 corners of the room.
Fancy. So Oren will take a step up and look like, I mean, it looks like, I don't know, like a coffin almost, but it's like a glass encasing, right?
Yeah, so it's like the shrine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roll a mysticism check.
Absolutely. Ooh. That's not great. Well, it'll all work out in the end. 21?
21 is enough. You kind of study this and you see all this religious symbology, and
Symbolism.
no, it is symbology.
It's symbology.
It's symbology.
Sorry.
I'm just making the movie reference. I'm sorry.
So you see the figure that's depicted in the tapestry as Lasala, the lawful evil Aslanti goddess of duty, fate, and obedience. Also known as the Scion of Seven, she is an ancient deity who was worshipped by the empires of Aslant and Thassalan during the days of Lost Galarian. So, like, all the way back to
Oh, wow.
Pathfinder
Yeah.
times.
Like Earthfall and shit. Wow.
Yeah, before Earthfall, or Starfall, I think it's called. Yeah. She has become the patron goddess of the Aslanti Star Empire, supposedly rewarding those rulers and their subjects who follow her strict tenets. Her holy symbol is the 7-pointed star. As you look around here, you see that there are traces of his perfidy in the room. When you first enter, there's this shaft of holographic light emanating from the 7-pointed star on the tapestry, illuminates a handful of interlocking metal triangles resting on the altar. Closer inspection reveals that these triangles appear to have been removed from an article of clothing.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
This is him removing the
Yep.
history
battle.
to put his
Yeah.
own on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because
Battle
you've read
dress
that,
or battle suit,
because you've read that data module, you automatically succeed on the culture check to tell that these triangles were used to indicate rank or a other important connection, like a noble family, and you're reminded that taking another noble's battle regalia is a majorly frowned upon in the Aslanti society.
It's like
And
when Phil does that.
Yeah, but what you've seen here is that Zolan created this little makeshift secret room to where he actually defaced an ancient pre-Gap Aslanti royal battle regalia, stripped it of its insignia and its rank and noble designation. However, you do not see the regalia here itself. You just see the residue of this.
Oh, the regalia is not here.
No.
So he's wearing
Just
it,
the crest.
He's
the old
already
crest.
got it on.
This motherfucker is an asshole among Nazis, y'all.
But he's really burning bridges, more than we even realized with his own people. He's just banking on the idea that whatever he can put together here will be so monumental that they'll forgive all the other bullshit that he's doing.
I wonder if Ziva will say, seeing all this, I wonder if this specialist knows about all of this
he has no idea.
defacing.
Leave the door open.
Heresy. And Orin says it with air quotes. Heresy.
Yeah, I bet he don't.
I bet you he doesn't either.
I mean, can we take
We
a
should leave
picture
this
of it
door
and show
open.
it to him? I mean, it seems kind of...
Text him.
Yeah, just text him,
text it to him,
send him a
yes.
picture.
I mean,
So you guys really want to tell Evandrian this so he can tell the Aslanti Empire and send them all over here to come get us?
We'll be long gone by then.
Hopefully.
I'm kind of with Orin on this one. I don't think it much matters if our goal is to kill Zolan anyways.
I say we just cut this asshole's head off. Go get the Sarda. And free Mike's dad, of course.
Yeah, and free Mike's dad.
And Orin makes a gesture towards Mike.
Tactic-wise, thank you.
Ziva will pull out her data pad and just take a couple of pictures
There you
just for
go.
shits and gigs. And she says, it never hurts to have the information at hand if we need to use it.
Absolutely.
She takes one selfie with it.
One selfie. Yeah,
Do
she
you
throws
want
up
to
the
take
deuces,
Do you want to take the triangles themselves?
Oh, if they're
They're loose.
yes, she will do that.
I clamp them over my teeth like you do with bugles over your fingers.
Okay, so what do you do now?
Carry on into the Western lab, I suppose, because it's the one closest to
Lab
us, right?
3.
Yes.
Was there anything up here north?
Why don't you go check it
I
out?
haven't really gone there.
Oh. Beep boop beep.
Oh
beep,
shit, a
beep.
loader.
That's. Yeah,
There's
we've
definitely
seen the
a
loader.
And
Yeah.
I can't tell if that's a
Catch up,
platform.
Felino.
So
It's like a service
yeah,
elevator.
so what you see here, what you see here is exactly that—a large service elevator platform. If you look up, you can see that the shaft above here has been filled with several tons of concrete. And if you remember,
Oh yeah.
so that elevator from the top floor was initially supposed to come all the way down here, but has been sealed off. So this elevator has been disabled, and so has the powered cart next to it.
Okay.
I'm assuming one of the other nerds is going to check out the cart, at least for a second. And assuming that, Mike will be like, hey, just look for the hex weave, see if maybe my dad worked on this. If we're going in the right direction.
Yeah. And Fel's
And so you take a few moments to look at it. I'll let you just take 20 on it. And you see it's just like the other cart. It would need about 1 to 4 hours of work to bring it back into use if you wanted to, but it's basically has a speed of 10 feet and can hold a driver and a passenger. It's
But it could kill an
not
alien
very
queen.
efficient.
but it doesn't look like it's...
No, so it's not
had-
even powered armor, so
okay.
it like literally doesn't have enough strength to do any of that.
Gotcha.
Little TLC, and we could walk that Aeon. That rune drive out of here.
Yeah, with
Real
all that
slowly.
concrete, this thing won't fit up the catwalks and shit that we took to get down here. That thing's stuck.
No, but if you remember, there's a flat route all the way back to the
Yeah. Where we came in, Phil.
And the
Okay,
rune
yeah.
drive itself is only 3 by 3
Yeah.
foot cube.
Just have to
Yeah.
get it out of that.
So both loaders, 1 to 4 hours of work, we could haul that bad boy out of there.
Or you could just carry
Or
it.
just carry it by hand.
Oh, just carry it, yeah.
Assuming
we have,
it
like-
wouldn't, go ahead.
How much time do we have left? We had 10 hours, right, before this fight. How long has it been? A half hour?
If that.
And we still need to metagaming, get a rest in
Yep.
somewhere.
Well, and at what point do we choose to get that rest? Now before checking the labs? Because maybe run into more
I
fights?
say
Or
one lab, and then rest.
I'm down.
Depends on how that lab goes.
yeah.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, I want to check a lab as quickly as
one
possible.
lab and then
For sure.
rest.
I mean, I do think this is a good thing to have in our back pocket,
Yeah.
but we until
And
we have more
We're
information.
still,
we don't know
we're
what
still
to do.
gathering information right
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
Phil,
All right.
roll a perception check.
Okay.
oh, he's right next to the loader.
That's going to be a 20. Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, the loader has nothing on it.
Of course it doesn't.
You see?
Tight.
You see this dirty shit
It's
that
there.
Adam pulls?
All right,
So
let's go.
multiple individuals can't.
Yeah.
We're all standing there, but
let's-
we
no.
don't get to.
Oren,
Roll-
as soon as you step out, I need you to stop, and I need everybody to roll initiative.
What?
Oh, is that what the
It's your boy. It's your boy.
This motherfucker done
All right.
snuck up on us.
As Evandrian
Shit.
unloads a shot against Oren as he's standing on the catwalk that's above the rune drive, shooting down the hall.
God damn it. I
This
hate him
bitch.
so much. Do we know it's him?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Yep.
This is a will fucking see you moment, is it not? Like,
Nope. I handle those wheels fucking see you, Zach.
Yeah, he does get mad at you if you try to jump the gun on the we'll see you.
Alright, 12.
natural fucking 20, asshole.
Oh, watch
Oh,
out.
damn!
I mean,
That's gonna be a total of 24.
fell with another sub 10. Got an 8.
Oh my gosh. Mike, what'd you get?
16.
All right. Ziva?
13.
Sedona got an 11. Oh boy. All right, so we got the surprise round here. This is not going to be good. All right, so surprise round on Oren right at 60 feet. All right, here we go.
Well, no, we gotta talk about angles now because
All right,
we gotta talk about angles. You're 20 feet up.
I'll take a -2 because it's right at 60 feet. I'll take that -2, one outside of my increment.
Okay.
All right, so that's going to be I guess a 31 will hit, right?
Yeah, 31.
I guess a 31 will hit.
Okay, so that's going to deal. Okay, that's going to do 15 points of piercing damage to you.
Gosh, dang it. That's a lot of piercing.
And he's going to say to you, I told you to leave. Just go. This has nothing to do with you. Leave now and no one else will get hurt. And Oren, you're up on round 1.
Oren,
You are 60 feet away, 75 feet away if we're counting Pythagorean theorem.
so, as much as Oren would love to just draw down on this asshole right now, he says, wait. The captain has a proposition for you.
Nice.
And he will, delay his turn.
Delay his
I get
turn
it.
till after
I
the
get. I
captain.
mean, I get what. I guess, yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Mike,
Okay. I'm assuming I could hear that.
You can hear it, sure.
Okay. I just want to move closer, but I don't want to spook him. Okay, for now, I'm going to activate my brand new purple Aeon Stone as a standard action. So I have 5 temporary HP in case this shit goes soured. Sour.
Sour?
Soured. In case it goes soured. And I'm going to move up behind Fel. Just where I'm closer to the action, but not like popping out all of a sudden as the big scary lizard man.
Alright. It is Evandrin's turn. Evandrin is going to full attack on Orin.
He just told us to leave.
He's trying to make his point, I guess.
Yes, he's just a dick.
Okay, that's 2 16s on the die. So that's going to get it for sure.
With your bonuses?
Yeah. Yep. Alright, so both of those are going to hit. This is going to be a good bit of damage, Orin. Okay, so that's 12 on the first shot.
Okay.
And that'll be 15 on the second shot.
Okay. Orin is below.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Ziva,
He
you're
shot
up.
the fuck up.
Okay. Seeing Orin get fucking lit up, she will put her hands up in the air and just be like, "Stop, please, hold your fire. You want us to leave, yes?
Yes.
Let me show you something that you do not know about your precious Zolan."
So you're going to need to roll a diplomacy first to see if you can even get him to listen to you, because he's, you know what I mean. You got to you got to change his state of mind.
Okay.
So obviously Orin's aiding. I mean,
Well, you can't
Like,
aid it because
bullshit, dude. What are you
can't-
talking about?
in combat
He just
turn
took
order.
3 shots without doing
In
anything.
combat turn order, you have to use your turn to aid somebody in turn order. That's just how it goes.
Well, then that's what he did with delaying his turn. I mean, he didn't know what he.
All right, yeah,
what
that's
he was
fair.
doing.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you the aid when you ceded the floor to her. So let
Okay.
me. Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Natural 19 plus 5, 24.
So that's
that's
an
going to
aid,
get the aid.
Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and use an inspiration on this. Okay. Diplomacy. Oh, they're the same, sorry. Okay, so 15 plus 12 is that many.
27.
Plus
2.
inspiration is 2.
Just
Plus
3. Inspirations
It's
are 3.
32.
3. Okay. 32, correct?
Yes.
Math is hard, and I've been
It
drinking.
is.
Okay. You succeed on your first diplomacy check. Okay. So that reduces him from hostile to unfriendly. All right.
Okay.
But that was a success.
Okay.
Orin, you've used your turn to aid, as you said, correct? So you have a movement. You have a
Basically.
movement if you would like to use a movement.
Yeah, he would take a step behind the captain, I think.
Okay.
Does Ziva
Alright.
have a move?
Yes, Zeno would have a move. Yep.
Can I pull out the triangles?
Sure. Yeah. You definitely can.
She would pull those out and kind of toss them on the ground and put her hands back up and be like, you know, if you know what this is, then you know what the situation is.
Zeno, you're up.
I am holding back till I see something else. I'm readying an action in case he fires.
What action are you readying?
Spell.
If he fires, you're casting a spell on him.
Correct.
Okay. Sedona will use her last cure, Mystic Cure. You're in your HP, right, Orin?
Oh, yeah.
All right, she's going to use her
Yeah,
last
for sure.
mystic cure to heal you.
As a free action, whenever she's doing that, I just want to like wave to her to like not come past me. I don't want
She's
her to
not
be
moving.
inside
She's
of the
not
gunner.
moving.
Well, the thing, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, isn't Mystic Cure a touch spell?
Oh, it is touch, yeah. So she's just going to come, she's going to have to move past you, Mike. But she's going to get right here, kind of, you know, at least still covered by the rest of the crew. She's going to heal Mike. I mean, Oren. Ooh, that is max on the die, so that's going to be a total of 13 healing.
Okay. I will take it. Owen's got most of his HP back now.
All right, Fel, you're up.
All right, Fel's movement action is going to be to turn on combat tracking. And his standard action, you guys haven't seen him do this yet, he's going to invoke his energy shield, which gives him 10 temporary HP for a minute.
And Terry comes over in your comms, says, I've been waiting for you to use this, Fel. It is exciting. I feel like I'm part of this combat with you.
Yeah, buddy, you've been there this whole time, the combat track and all that shit. But appreciate the extra hand.
The combat tracking was in you all along.
Oh, no.
Round 2.
Awful.
Mike, you're up.
Okay, so Mike is going to move just one space to the west, behind Sedona. As a move action, get his laser cannon ready. And I've just barely got a shot on him if I need to take it. I'm not trying to, but if shit goes wrong.
Are you ready? Are you readying an attack?
Well, you can't move and ready, right? Readying requires you to either ready a move action or a standard action that takes your whole turn, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm just equipping the weapon.
Okay, all right. So Vandrian's turn.
And I kind of whisper to Sedona, it's like, if this goes south, get out the fucking way. I'm not having you go down.
So Evandrian looks at you, Ziva, like, well, you can't really see his eyes because he's got the helmet, but his gun he's holding, and he just kind of sits there for a minute. He's looking at you, and his head, you can see his head move from kind of your face down to the ground in front of you, looking at the triangles, and he just says to you, "Just leave." And he actually runs away. Well, I don't want to say run away, but he lowers his weapon and retreats away to where you can't see him. And we'll fucking see you.
God. Okay.
God, fucking damn it.
It's a bit of a pickle.
There it was. Yeah, I don't know.
What do we do with this guy?
The thing is, look, what's gonna happen is he's gonna stand just far enough away we can't see him, and then as soon as we move towards not leaving, he's gonna attack us.
Such a fucking onion, dude.
This episode has been sponsored by Roll20. This is how we roll.